Hello. Thanks for hopping on. Hopefully, I am live in this event. Um, if you are jumping on the live video, drop live for me. If you're watching the replay, drop replay. I'm going to grab Tiffany and she will join me. Sometimes we have, it's tricky to go live in an event page. So I hope I'm actually in the event page. If you're hopping on, will you let me know if I'm in the event or if I'm on my wall? Sometimes that happens. But like I said, drop a live if you're jumping on live, drop replay if you're watching the replay. I think you guys are going to like what we have to share with you today. We are going to be talking a little bit about our Thrive Experience business story. So I have a special guest jumping on with me, and I'm going to add her now. Are you out there? There she is.
Hi.
Hi. Am I live in the team in the event page or am I on
You,
my wall?
you're in the event. Good
Yay.
job.
Okay.
Yes.
So I wanted to start by saying, yes, drop live if you're watching live, drop a replay if you're watching the replay. Also, just know that this will be live in this event page for 2 weeks. So if you have friends that you want to share this with, or if you were invited but you can't quite listen to the entire video, just know that it'll be in here for 2 weeks so you can jump on and replay it if you want to or share it with special people. Welcome.
Love it.
How's your day?
Good.
Good.
Awesome. I'm excited about this. We've had
Me
a lot of
too.
excitement around this live, and I think this is a great time to do it. And just kind of talk, we are very, very story based, and I love that. I love that we share, all these great stories about what the Thrive Experience is doing for people and now what Thrive Skin is doing for people. Um, but there is also amazing things happening on the business side too. So I'm really excited to chat with you about
Right?
that today.
I love it. And you had shared a post um, a couple days ago, and it was you. We were taking some headshots together, and you just wrote, you had no network marketing experience, very few people that you were friends with on Facebook, no intentions to sell anything, but you had passion. And I loved that statement you wrote. So maybe just start with, what kind of jump started. Give me your Thrive promoter story.
Okay, okay. Well, I had actually just started on the products. I started products for Patience and Energy. Um, I had zero intention of really promoting this, but when we found out that it was free, there was no cost to join as a promoter. We found out that you could refer two friends, get two friends to thrive with you, and Lavelle pays for your product. Um, we knew enough about the industry that we knew somebody was going to make a kickback on our two referrals, and it kind of seemed like a no-brainer. It doesn't cost anything. Um, we're not going to leave money on the table. We're going to for sure get our two referrals so that we can thrive for free. And really, so that's where promoting started for me. I clicked the promoter button. I did not have any intentions of actually sharing it much other than, getting our referrals in.
Right?
And um, I mean, so here's the deal, Megan. I ordered as a customer one day, clicked over to promoter the next day
Oh,
so that I
interesting.
could start. Yeah, yeah, it
Yep.
was fast. Just wanted to make sure that we weren't leaving money on the table. And I think you kind of know what happens from there. These products get in your body for any amount of time, and holy smokes, how can you keep this to yourself? I
Right.
started feeling awesome. Dustin started feeling awesome, and we realized we were going to tell probably more than just two people about it. How about
That
you? How did it start for you?
same. Yeah, I started on a sample, gone wrong, ordered the product. For me, refer to is everything. Before I even loved the product, I was intrigued by that refer to. So if you're watching and refer to is important to you, drop a two. That was everything to me. When my friend Rachel said to me, you can thrive for free with two referrals, I thought, okay, well, I don't even know if I like this product, but I like free. And I knew that I would have two referrals because, like you, if it's out there, I always compare it to Kohl's Cash. Like I don't let Kohl's Cash expire. I'm going to use it. And so I I started thriving. I got my 2 referrals really quickly and I was thriving for free. And I thought that was like incredible. And I had never in my life, because I was a supplement junkie, gone to that big box store and gotten anything for free by bringing my friend with me. And so that was really cool. And I thought that's exciting. But the stories came in and that was wild to me, that my mom and my sister were my first referrals. They loved the product. And I thought, okay, well, that's odd. I have like at least 10 more people to tell. And Rachel said, okay, well, you can keep getting referrals or you can click that promoter button and just, get a little bit of commission. And I remember thinking, like you, well, there's no harm in that as long as you promise me I'm not going to be charged anything. And she promised me there was no website fees, no yearly fees, no minimum that I had to, I just loved all of that. And I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. So that was kind of for
Hmm.
me no intentions of starting an at-home business, just
Hmm.
passion for telling my friends and family how they could feel as good as I was feeling.
So you were a customer and you were thriving for free already, well
I was
before you
probably
ever clicked that promoter button.
2 to 3 weeks, maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, that's awesome. And one thing I will add to what you said, because the no fees, no fees to click to promoter, no website fees, nothing like that. One thing I'll add to that is no monthly sales quotas. And that was huge for me because I was an accountant in corporate America at that time. And um, I had had other friends in direct sales companies that had invited me to join them. Like, we love your business mind. We would love for you to join us. And um, I just never, I mean, sales was not in my realm of thinking whatsoever. I love numbers, not sales, not talking to people, things like that. So,
not talking to people.
well, other accountants
Uh,
out there probably can
right.
understand what I'm talking about, but that no monthly sales quotas was huge for me because I did not want to be locked into having to either purchase a dollar amount each month or having to, make sure that I sold a dollar amount, a specific dollar amount for the month. So, um, that no sales quotas was huge for me. I would say that's one of the
Yeah,
top things that really drew me in, like, okay, I can
yeah,
do this as long as you don't tell me that
I
I
love
have to
that.
do so much every month. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, we laughed about it, but you saying I didn't have to talk to people, I will bounce off of that. I didn't want to leave my house. I had 2 young kids. I had a 3-year-old and I had a 6-year-old and I had 2 dogs and I had a husband who drove an hour and 20 minutes every day each way to work. I didn't have time or energy or even after starting the product, I didn't have the time to commit to leaving my house 2 to 3 nights a week to do a party. And that was
Hmm.
really intriguing to me when she said, you literally just tell your friend what you're doing if they ask, share your link with people who might not have asked but maybe want more information. Just say, have you ever heard of this? You want to try it? Here's my link. Check it out. Get a free account. Look around. That's all I had to do.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to push sales. I just had to share what I was doing that I was loving and ask them if they were open to information. I mean, we all are giving our email to Old Navy every time I walk in there, Target every time I go there. Like, there's not a day where I don't drop my email 6 times. And I was just going to do that from my house.
Right.
Um, and that was super exciting to me that I didn't have to leave my house 2 to 3 nights a week and have to, cart things around and sit at somebody's party and wait until they were done chatting to leave. That would have never worked for me.
Yeah,
So that's
I
one of my
agree.
things that I loved about it. I
Hmm.
know for both of us that beginning bonus, I say was the snowball that started it for me. Um, did that impact you when you first began?
Yeah, I kind of wrote down like my three things off the top of my head that I love about Lavelle. And the first thing I wrote down was that it's free to promote. It doesn't cost us anything to have a free customer account, a free promoter account. There's, like we just talked about. I love, like I also just said, no sales quotas, huge for me. The third thing I wrote down is 660 on $800. And um, that's the bonus Megan just referred to for those of you that don't know. When you first join this company, in your first 2 weeks, you can make $660 on your first $800 in qualified sales. That's by helping 4 people start their Thrive experience. And like I said, being in accounting, that was crazy to me. I was like,
right?
how does that even
My mom,
work?
my sister, my husband, I just had to find one more.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Isn't that crazy? Um, so to me, that was huge. Because I very quickly, my sister-in-law Jody joined um, me as a promoter right away as soon as I kind of talked to her about what was happening, how I was feeling. We had Dustin's aunt and uncle were our first customers. My friend Shelly called me and said, "Look, you're two orders away from making $660." And I was like, well, I mean, I just really wanted to get my product for free, but two orders, I think I can do
okay.
that. You know?
Yep.
So that part back then changed everything for us. We were not in a financial position to, be ordering a lot of product. When Dustin saw the changes in me, he wanted to see what it could do for him. But it was the start of concrete season, startup costs for that, everything else. We actually ended up putting our first promoter package on his mom's credit card.
That's
And
crazy.
I mean, that's where we were at. And so getting that 660, earning that bonus meant that we could pay her back right away. That literally changed everything for us. So yeah, that was huge. How about you? What you hit that first bonus?
I hit that first bonus, and I honestly, I had run my own business from home. I taught first grade, so I loved being a teacher. And at night, I would come home and bake cakes with a friend. We decorated like the big fancy cakes you see on TV. We loved it. But I didn't believe that people made money with their side gigs. My mom used to say, "You should
Uh-huh.
have a side gig. You should always have a side gig." And I was like, "Yeah, I should." And I would make those cakes, and I literally, after a year, would have made $300. When my first bonus came through, it was $525. And I remember looking at that amount and thinking, that took me a whole year of 3 nights a week making cakes, and I just made that in 2 weeks. Maybe there really is an opportunity to actually benefit my family a little bit here. I
Uh-huh.
think that was for me, just made it become real. Um, also we both had spouses who looked into it. I had a spouse who, you had a spouse with an entrepreneurial mindset. My husband is very business driven, has an MBA. And when he said, I've kind of looked into that, and I mean, you really can't get it much better than that, Megan. And I thought, well, that's crazy. Okay. So I think the combo of like actually seeing a check come through, um, and just having somebody else kind of say, yeah, I've looked into it, and there really is no red flags. It's kind of amazing, was really
Yeah.
big for me.
hmm
And I know
It's
you
funny
too.
you talk about the red flags, and I would say for, the first like almost 6 months probably, we
Maybe
kept
longer.
kind of waiting. Like it almost seemed too good to be true, right?
Yep.
We hit that first bonus. I mean, there's all kinds of bonuses you can earn in your first month. Um, but then we actually ended up hitting our auto bonus in 32 days. Who who is watching this that earns an auto bonus with Lavelle? Drop a car emoji. Um,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Second rank of the company, right? That was not on our radar. That was not in our vision to earn an auto bonus. But with Lavelle, it's at the second rank of the company. It's not just the people at the top that are earning these auto bonuses, and we ended up hitting that in 32 days. Um, and my husband was really like obviously excited about it, but kind of skeptical. And then we got that first payout. We had the $300 payout on that when we first started. And he was like, okay, but are they going to keep paying this?
Right.
And so we kind of
Or,
just, I would say maybe kept our guard up, waiting for things to kind of fall apart. And I would say after about 6 months, we finally thought, okay, this is all good. We haven't found anything yet that they
we should do
haven't,
something with it. Yeah. We should
yeah,
go buy
yeah,
a car.
yeah. And well, that's when we did. It was 6 months later. We actually got a vehicle that qualified for the $800. And now recently they added the $1,600, option for auto bonus. So, tell me about your journey with that, because I know you hit it very quickly as well.
I was the same as you, super skeptical. I probably until last week, no. But for the first year, I would wake up every morning and say to my husband, "Are you sure this is real? Are you sure I'm not?" this isn't gonna crumble? And he would say, I told you this was amazing. Just stop asking. Um, but I, like you, 45 days, I counted this morning. Look, got my auto bonus. I didn't really understand what was happening. I remember I untagged myself. When my mom watches this video, she'll say, she called me and said, Did you just win a car? And I said, I think so.
I think
Um,
so. I'm not
but
sure.
I was thinking, I don't want everybody to know that. But it was one like you. I just thought that's not going to be real. It'll change
Hmm.
tomorrow. After about 5 months, just like you, I thought, gosh darn it, it's still sitting there. And I think this is going to be real. And I bought a car to get my $800 a month. I bought a used Cadillac, and I think the moment that it became real for me was our CEO was coming to visit. I had never seen him up close, so I was so excited. I had my new Cadillac, and I actually took a picture of myself standing next to it and posted it on Facebook. And I thought, you know what? For the first time, I'm going to share this because, there might be other teachers and moms and people out there who, didn't always trust their cars on the way to work. I live in Minnesota. I did, there was every single day in the winter, I would think if I go in the ditch, that's the end of this. I was so afraid all the time. Or we would be, yelling at each other at home saying, don't go to Target today. The car payment's coming out tomorrow. And, it was less about the fanciness of the car and more about just the security that brought me and my family that I was crazy about. And I think for me, that was kind of a big turning point. And also just in the fact that I started to trust the company 100% and believe that,
Hmm.
I needed to tell other people about that side of it, which was fun.
Hmm. It's funny you
Yeah.
talk about that, the security, because we had an old minivan that, I was the minivan mom. I had hit a deer. Dustin had done something to the hood to keep it down. I mean, it was like totally discombobulated and probably not super safe to be out. And so when we first hit that auto bonus, we didn't even look at the luxury vehicles. We just thought, man, Lavelle's going to pay us $300 a month. We can get rid of this van, and we actually got a newer minivan, to be honest, in the very
Right?
beginning, because that's what our family needed, and it was such a relief to drive down the road knowing that I had something that was safe for my family, and Dustin was way more at peace when I would leave the house, with the kids and things like that, because we just had a safer vehicle, and I mean, gosh. That's awesome. Like you said, it's
It's
not even
crazy.
about being fancy. It's not even about the
No,
luxury vehicle. It's just knowing that you have a vehicle that you can depend on is amazing.
huge,
Hmm.
huge. Um, and there are some fancy things, so we can just get right to that. My favorite part is the getaways. I'm a
Yes.
traveler. I absolutely love the getaways. Um, you counted yours. How about you tell us a little bit about the getaways?
Well, that also comes at the second rank of the company, which I love. Again, it's not the people just at the top of the company that are earning these things. Those that actually comes at the 12K rank, which is the second rank as well. And Lavelle lets us earn up to three a year of these. And yeah, I counted this morning just to see. And Dustin and I have been on 12 getaways since we started 5 years ago. We had to miss two of them, so I didn't count those. We did miss out on two. But we've been on 12. I've traveled more in the last 5 years than my entire, would it be, 37 years prior to that? I've gone to places that I never even imagined going to, some of them within the United States here and some not. And what I love about these getaways is, we have team all over the country. It started out kind of, more close to home and local people and whatever, but over the course of the last 5 years, our team has grown a lot. We've got people all over the country, and 3 times a year we're able to get together with them and soak up some time with the team. Um, and the people that we get to meet through this. But one thing I want you to talk about is, let's talk about what the agenda is on our lifestyle getaways. Let's
Right?
talk about that.
Right? Because I take full advantage of the agenda. That's the part that I love because I'm a traveler at heart. left college with quite a bit of credit card debt thanks to my love for travel. I didn't miss a spring break. Um, and, having 3 trips a year paid for by Lavelle. And when I say trips, they call them lifestyle getaways to show us the lifestyle that Lavelle can give us. It truly is us arriving at the airport, getting picked up by transportation provided for us, brought to a, always 4-star or more hotel, um, and 3 days of fun on your time. Do what you want. We have one,
Hmm.
I would say, party that Lavelle puts on. I wouldn't even call it a meeting. It's a party where we have a theme and they release new products and kind of celebrate us and what we've all accomplished. But beyond that 2-hour window, you're free to do what you want and when you want, and you get to bring a guest. So for me, a big piece of it has been, Eric and I, my husband and I having children. I don't know that we would have ever gone on vacations alone after they turned 4 and 7. It was like, well, that's done. And now we get that time together. We get 3 days,
Hmm.
3 nights, 4 days every few months together. And that has been incredible, just for us to have time together and to celebrate the business and us,
Hmm.
you know?
Hmm. Exactly. Well, and even that welcome party that you talked about, I mean, we're not even forced to go to that. I don't know why
No,
anybody wouldn't want to go to
I
it. I
know.
mean, there's usually music and entertainment, and it's more of a party than anything. But
Yeah.
like you said, those fun announcements, sometimes there's new
Yeah.
products, or they have just different announcements, and that's the only thing that Laval schedules for us. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we get to do what we
Nothing.
want, which is
Yeah.
just amazing. And to be able to connect with a loved one, the team, whatever that we've been able to do. I saw somebody, Missy said she saw the ocean for the first time,
Yeah.
due to a lifestyle getaway. Angie just said her first
Honeymoon.
honeymoon after 28 years of marriage.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that.
man, this
Right?
is good
Drop, you guys,
stuff,
if you've
right?
been on a getaway, drop the names of the places you've been or drop how many you've been on. We would love to see, because that is, like you said, Tiffany, the close part is one of the big things in Lavelle that I appreciate, um, is not only, what it's done for my family, the freedoms and the options for my family, but also just to know that not, everybody's winning. And I like that
Uh-huh.
piece of it. Um, and just knowing that others are getting things, that they had never dreamed of either. It's not just me showing up on the vacations. It's a whole team. I think we had like 60 people at the last getaway. That's wild. And we
I
were
love
all
that
at the
you
swim up
say
bar, Dustin. Yes.
it, yes. Yeah. Our favorite part. Um,
Right?
I love that you say that it's not just you because Dustin and I in the very beginning when our team was smaller, the first 2 getaways that we went on, it was just him and I from the team. There was other people that qualified, but they couldn't make it, and so it was just him and I, and we had a blast. I mean, it was a lot of fun meeting other people from the company and just doing what we were doing. But I tell you what, on that third one, when we had people from our team that joined us, it's like indescribable. I can't even tell you how much more enjoyable it was because it's always more fun to have other people doing it with you,
Yeah.
and to see other people winning and things. So you talked about freedoms and options, and you love that part of it, but let's talk about that a little bit. Like what kinds of freedoms and options has this opportunity given you throughout the last like 4 years?
Yeah, that's wild. So this is the part where I normally cry, but after 4 years, I probably pulled it together. For me, it's been time freedom. As a teacher, you don't get a lot of days off. Contrary to popular belief, I had 2 days I got to choose to take off. I got a lot of days off in the summer, but I only had 2 choice days, and that meant, my kids went on field trips without me. My kids went, the first day of school, I didn't get pictures. The last day of school, I didn't get pictures. So for me, time freedom came, and that was something that I can't really put a price tag on, honestly, three
Hmm.
years. I'm in my third year now of being home, and although I loved being a teacher, I loved it. Nothing beats dropping my own kids off, picking my own kids up, being here when they're sick, being on a field trip. I don't even love field trips, but I went on one yesterday, and I just thought, this was not an option 3 years ago, and I
Hmm.
actually fully enjoyed it. Um,
And
just being
Alex
with
fully
my
enjoyed it,
kids.
I'm
He
sure.
did, after he stopped yelling at me about 10 minutes. Life still happens. That's what I always tell people. I'm still in the pickup line and my kids are, telling me where to go and what to do. And, there's still days where things are stressful, but it's on my time. And that's the part that
Yeah.
I love is it's hard to really get too frustrated in the pickup line when I look around and think this is just such an amazing opportunity for me to be sitting in this line. I will sit in this line
Hmm.
for 15 minutes every day because it's something I never would have imagined being able to do.
So true. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. And I think about the different options, that this opportunity is provided for my family, and there has been an evolution for us. In the beginning, it was just, an extra few $100s to help out with bills that needed to be paid. When we first started this, we were in, you hear of people living paycheck to paycheck. We were living season to season, that kind of, in Wisconsin, concrete season. My husband had a concrete business. Um, it was really great all summer long. And then all winter, it was, using the credit cards to pay for things. And then we'd have to pay that off. And it was a season to season thing. And that was always stressful. And so when we first started this, the income that we earned through Lavelle started to help to pay for that. Then we started thinking, maybe we'll be able to take the kids, on an extended weekend to the Dells at the end of the summer, something like that. And it has just grown from there. 6 months into the business, I was able to leave my full-time accounting job, come back home where we all wanted me to be, and just like you said, the time freedom to be able to be there before school, after school, during school, if need be. The last
Hmm.
3 years, I have gone in once a week and helped out with Abel's class, whether it's doing reading or math or what, but just being able to do that was not an option when my girls were young, and I missed out, like you said, on all the field trips and things like that. You kind of have that. Um, I think I had, 2 or 3 weeks vacation at the job that I worked at, but you start to feel guilty if you need to leave early to watch one of the kids' practices or games or performances or whatever it is. You start to feel
Yep.
guilty, like, gosh, I hope they don't get mad at me for asking for this day off too, or part a day here, or whatever that is. And just knowing that we now can work our business around our family's schedules, I just feel like that's huge. That the fact that we can work this business from anywhere. I mean, you and I were both in Arizona this last weekend. Um, we brought our planners, we brought our cards, we had our phones, and we were able to still get some work in. And what I love is not because we had to, right? Because we love what we do. And I
Right.
think that's a huge piece of it. I'm going to turn it back to you for a minute
Yeah.
here.
No, I absolutely agree because I was on a cruise and I brought my planner out and sat by the pool and I thought, this is just exactly what I want to be doing right here. And that sounds so weird, but it's true. It's
Mhm.
like, so super thankful and passionate about what I do, but to be doing it in those settings is just a really strong reminder of the that freedom piece.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And the options, we've both moved into new houses. My house, we had um, a lot that we had dreamed of building on for years and years, years. And, it wouldn't have been possible without Lavelle. And so we're always very thankful of that. And I know I love Dustin's mouse rat story under your house.
That's it. We're
Again,
done.
your house is super fancy, but at the end of the day, it's about, having that security, having those options for your family of being safer
Hmm.
and healthier and,
Hmm.
you know,
Now, you come from, a background in teaching. I'm completely different background in accounting and numbers and things like that. Um, I think a big difference for me, and I know for you, being able to help people, kids, things like that was a big part of teaching for you, um, which can kind of roll over, helping people has rolled over into this business as well. But being able to be a part of somebody's story, right,
It's
is
huge.
huge. Whether it's on the product side and helping somebody in the fact that they can sleep through the night or they can get down on the floor and play with their kids, maybe not crabbing at their kids or their spouse as much. That part's awesome to be a part of that story when you help somebody get started. But also, like you said, you're not the only one going on lifestyle getaways anymore. You have this incredible, 60 people on your team that are there with you, and for you to be able to be a part of that is
It's
awesome. I
crazy.
mean, it was awesome for us when we moved into this house, and we would consider this our dream house right now. Um, but watching you and your family move into your dream house, that was almost more emotional for me than moving my family into this house.
Isn't that
I'm
true?
gonna tear up
Yeah.
here. It's just really, really fun and cool to see other people winning too, and to be a part of that. Turning it back to
It's
you
so
so I don't
true.
cry.
Well, great. Now I feel teary-eyed. No, it's so true. And I was thinking that this weekend as we spent time with one of our amazing leaders and how it got her a little choked up to see all of us. And that is the
Hmm.
evolution of truly winning when you can look down um, at your team and see them going through things that you went through that were just emotional and life changing. And
Hmm.
like I said, I cried for 2 years straight telling my story like that. And then seeing others get to that place now, it's like, okay, that was worth it. And it is even more powerful than your own story sometimes.
Hmm.
And we'll end with that. But my husband said long ago in the beginning when he told me to be quiet about the red flags, there's no red flags. He also would say, that you're never going to find a job where you can be, so successful. You're at home with your kids. It's everything you ever wanted, Megan. Plus, you feel fulfilled. There's not a lot of jobs where you can walk away and say, I changed somebody's life today. And he said, teaching is one of those, but you were restricted with your time and your finances. And now you have almost everything is exactly what people dream about having.
Hmm.
And, he said that is something that money can't buy. There's not a price that says that is worth, that is,
Hmm.
it's better than any income to know that their lives are changing because of the product you share, and the business that you're sharing with them too. And that piece
Right,
that sticks
right.
with me because I think it's true. Every day we get a story and we're like, well, that was worth it. Loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, very awesome. We could go on and on about that,
Awesome.
I feel
On and
like.
on and on. Yes. But we will stop there. If you're watching, like we said, drop live or drop a replay. If you have questions about the business, drop them below or get back with the person who sent you to this video. Feel free to message Tiffany or I, and we'll connect you with those people, or we'll connect with you ourselves. Um, there's right now there's a great opportunity to join the business, which we didn't plan when we scheduled this event. But
It
a lot
worked
of
out pretty
people,
well though.
right? A lot of people are doing some incredible offers in their business. So reach out to those individuals. Each one of us runs our business differently. So
Yeah.
that's also the exciting piece. But thank you, Tiffany. Do you want to share anything before we close out?
No, I thank you all for jumping on, and thank you for doing this with me, Megan. It's
Yeah,
always a little bit outside our comfort zone, I think, a little,
totally.
to talk about the business just because we are so product driven, story driven, things like that. But this is an important piece that we need to talk about this too because there's a lot of good happening over on this side too. So
It's
thanks for
so
doing this
true.
with me.
Yeah, you have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.